Did you guys hear that?
No.
Okay, that was my dad calling.
Yeah, no. We didn't. We were still here. You went somewhere else and then came back. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so apparently I can answer a phone call and y'all don't hear me, but I can
That's
hear
right.
you. Okay.
Oh, you can hear us, huh?
Yeah, I
Good.
can hear you, so I thought you could hear me.
No. So this silence is a space to be present. In a practice of exploring what is right now. Good morning, Allie.
Good
Morning.
evening, Allie.
Good morning.
That's right. Evening, always gets
Yeah, I know.
morning. It's morning for Pascal.
Good morning, Pascal.
How are you doing today, Allie?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Thank you, Mona.
Right on.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Yeah, it's been a good day.
I love that when you're here. It's like I can see whether or not I want to attach to your day. Not very often do I not, because it's you always, yeah. But it is. Some days are just
Better than others.
That's right.
Yeah, I got up this morning and done my meditation and really set the intention to have a great day today. And, yeah, I saw 555 on the clock when I got up. So, yeah.
Oh, the number of grace according to the Hebrew language. Right
Is that
on.
right?
Right on.
Wow, I love
Hmm.
that. So it just set my day right off the back.
That
Right.
555 is recurring often for you, isn't it, Natalie?
It does, it does.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And the number of grace in triple digits. Wow.
Yes. A bucket full.
Oh,
I
there's
found out that if you watch somebody that teaches that kind of stuff in their sermons, that you're nerdy. So I guess I'm nerdy.
Welcome to the club, Mona.
Yeah.
and a powerful creator. So
Yeah. It means that you're aware.
Well, things kind of get diluted from the original stuff. So you always want to kind of
Yeah.
know what the original stuff means, you know? And you get some really good aha moments.
Yeah, that's true with words too.
Yeah.
As their meanings change over years.
Yes. And you
Some
get new
quite
ones
radically.
added.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just sensing an impulse to break the silence. So I'm going to bring this in. The subtle difference between power and force.
Seems like one is pushing and one is just there as an envelope.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's good, Mona. Yeah, I've been experiencing a great amount of spontaneity in the last couple of weeks. And something transpired yesterday that I've been kind of contemplating overnight, where just a tinge of force came into the mix. And yeah. And it when I recognized it unnerved me. And this is kind of interesting for me because the core wound of my life that I've been attending to has force in it, like where I succumb to certain things and I didn't have a choice in the matter. I was forced to do things by the authorities that were there. And that wounding kept happening over and over in my life. And so in the past few years, that pattern has come to has come to a resolution, actually, for which I am very grateful. But the interesting thing that I'm realizing now is that it makes me very, or that living in that pattern for that long in my life has made me very sensitive to force. Now, this is an interesting thing. When I was very young, I used to chew my fingernails and kind of chew the ends of my fingers kind of down to the bone sometimes. And in my teens, I had warts on my fingers, and I used to chew them too. So it's like, and that whole habit kind of went away. By the time I had hit my late teens and 20s, I wasn't chewing my fingers anymore. But what's really interesting is as I've gone through this this healing pattern around that wounding, in the last few years, I've been chewing my fingers again. And it's kind of a curious thing. Interesting thing is, while I was in this spontaneity in the last couple of weeks, I hadn't been touching my fingers at all. And then yesterday, when I was forcing things, or I recognized I was forcing things, I realized that I was chewing my fingers again. So it's kind of interesting how that's kind of a physical signal for me. I'm experiencing force. There's force in the energy mix of my experience. And so, yeah, that's a big realization for me, and kind of handy to have a signal to be aware about. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. The big learning for me is that I'm not fully in my power when there's force involved.
Mhm.
My power is in surrendering to the spontaneity. And trusting the spontaneity. That's what my heart is giving me.
In the constellation work, people have contracts with people that normally are dead. I have a contract with somebody that is alive. Somebody told me once they were jealous because I had an opportunity to work that contract out. And I think that it's still going to be an unworkable contract. Because irregardless of what their mouth is saying, that they would like to work things out and have a better relationship, their behavior is saying otherwise. So I have to make a decision about participating in this unworkable contract. And I think in order to save myself, that I have to walk away from it.
You know, it could be, Mona, that they think they've reached an impasse and can't move from it.
Unfortunately, Craig, I think it's deliberate, it's a game, and it's a hustle.
It could be that too. Is it an option for you, Mona, to disengage?
There's an option for me to back off quite a bit. Yeah. If I don't, I'm going to end up being upset a lot.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be a choice that's permanent. So check with your body and see if you can disengage for an undefined time.
I'll put it to you this way. I'm not going to be the person that reaches out.
Right.
Because
right.
I've been the person that has been reaching out to engage. And I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, see, that's you initiating is what's evoking friction, actually. And that's not healthy for you.
No. And what happened was I was asked for a certain specific advice. And when I gave them specific advice, they didn't honor it.
Yeah.
And I asked them not to do that again because they weren't going to listen and take the advice. They were going to go and do the behavior that drives people crazy anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't ask me again.
Yeah. So I'll turn this back to the story that I told. It was the spontaneity was around me relating to another person. Okay, and what I realized was that little bit of force energy, even though it wasn't really a big thing, but even that little bit of force energy that actually jeopardized the relationship. And I'm sensing that your reaching out to that person might have had a tinge of that kind of energy. See, in my case, I'm not sure that other person perceived that I was bringing force in. Okay. So So I think there's unawareness in the other person. Because it didn't really come up, but I noticed it. And so we're going to be having a talk today around that very thing. But even a slight bit of force can actually trigger someone.
Mm.
You know, even if it's subtle, even if it's a reaching out. You know, like, you know, when your own emotions are in a bit of a turmoil and somebody comes to you and tries to console you or something, and sometimes you just don't want to be talked to, you don't want to be approached, you don't want to be anything like that. So that happens too. It can be a trigger. It can show up as a trigger on their side. It can show up as a I want to be alone for a while. You know, any of those kinds of things. And we never have control over the other. That's never true. And we're also not responsible for how they interact or the feedback that they give us. But we are responsible for our own side of it. So, you know, be aware of what you might be doing or how they might be perceiving what you're doing. And you know, disengaging is a very powerful move.
Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, thank you, Mona.
Thank you, Craig.
Big virtual hug, Mona.
Thanks.
So just listening, and if it's labeled and described as unworkable, what is it that you'll experience?
For me,
Good
I
question.
think for me, if it's unworkable, I'll experience a setting of a boundary, I think. To not engage in certain conversations, and when they come up, I'll change the conversation to something else. Or I just don't have to engage in the conversation at all.
You find it interesting you labeled it as an unworkable relationship. The powerful creator that you are.
The powerful creator that I am, it's a co-creation in this relationship. And when somebody deliberately tells you that they're not going to shift or change or engage in any way to make it workable, I've been told it's not workable. So I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to force it. And I'm not going to engage in unworkable because I'm setting myself up for an expectation that's not going to happen. Because the excuse is that's just the way I am. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Now there's all sorts of different relationships. Yeah. True.
Yes.
And so that one distinction of a relationship is unworkable doesn't mean that another relationship is workable.
This is true, but if they keep bringing that aspect of themselves in each part of the relationship that tries to be worked out, then it's not workable. And they keep bringing that particular aspect of themselves into each part of any type of relationship that I try to work out with them.
And so let's just play, for example, a complete walk away. There is no relationship. Is that's workable?
For the moment, yes.
Well, it sounds like if that were to be the choice, that is still a workable relationship because there is not a relationship. It works
Okay.
for you. It works for you.
Yeah.
See how the unworkable has you trapped in it. So you'll be looking for ways that will to make it not work.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I have
at the end, go ahead. One, let me just finish with this, Neil, and then yeah, go for it. But it's like, yes, I mean, an unworkable relationship is to just move away from it, and that's still working. Like that's you're working it. You're just not engaging in one. It's an old relationship. You're always going to be connected in quote relationship from the past, not from the future. That's workable. It's our mindset, how we've just latched onto a certain way that it has to be. See those words we've created.
Morning. Nice
Thanks,
car.
Neil. Go for it.
Yeah. So, Mona, at the beginning, you mentioned the word contract. And
Yeah.
so I'm just thinking, well, one, have you defined what the contract is? That's one thing. And then two, you could redefine the contract. You could declare, that the existing contract's null and void, and redefine it in a way that serves you, and just see where that goes.
Okay.
Because I think we're living in a time when all the pre-incarnational agreements we've made and the mass agreements that we have adopted are much more malleable than they have been in the so-called past. I think we have a lot more flexibility in all of these situations if we are aware that we have the flexibility. That was all I had to say.
Yeah, is
And-
that relationship even a contract? Truly. Takes two to make a contract. Only takes one to break it.
And it just brings up the concept of pressure and force. Or sorry,
Exactly.
power and force. I really thought the 5 whys, like to go deep into the whys of the relationship, would reveal the truth behind it. But
It's kind of-
sometimes we may not want to know what the truth is behind it too.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's even in the language of contract. It's like you say, is this contract still in force?
Hmm.
You know, and it's it's pretty obvious by the situation that the contract isn't being honored anymore. So the force of it is diluted.
And different people will tie on to other contracts that we've made up. We've just the relationship, the contracts there would just change the names.
Yeah, I think that's something that's happening. Since I became a lot more aware of stuff, I try to look at where my part is in things, take responsibility for my stuff and my choices. I've
Yes.
stepped out of the blaming part of the contract.
Yeah,
So that part of the contract is broken and no longer exists.
yeah, and the implied obligation that's in the contract, right? Because both
Yeah.
parties obligate themselves, and that's what a contract is. You
Why-
obligate
why-
yourself to certain conditions, right?
Yeah,
That part of the contract is healed,
Yeah,
on my part. Yeah,
not broken. It's just healed. Interesting language we use, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and I know these patterns that we've held on for our whole life as children, as being safe, as the answer, as the go-to, right? The default doesn't make them powerful. That goes for all of us. We're not pointing at you, Mona. So don't. That's all of us, whatever our patterns are. It goes for everyone, right? And even if we catch somebody on a certain moment, it just happens that we were the last thing that they could handle, and the whole thing had to come crashing down on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason contracts were created was because two people couldn't trust each other.
Whoa.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you
that's
enter into a
huge.
contract to keep your butt covered,
Yeah.
right? In case there's an act of God, or in case there's a breach by the other party.
Yeah, so like the force of the contract is based on fear and lack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's all that kind of energy in it, right? You know, these new relationships that I'm creating in my life don't have that. Like, I don't have any obligation to any of you guys, but I keep coming back here day after day after day because there's something motivating me that isn't a duty or an obligation. It's a love or a compassion or something along those lines that doesn't have any of that obligation energy in it. It's magnetic. And it's spontaneous. I keep coming back here because I love you guys and because I love what we're creating together.
And I'll speak to a pain that does exist for those that we do love, that we want a better life for them.
Yeah.
We see, as we start to become aware, we can see things that we saw in ourselves. We can see it in them, and we just want something better for them. That they don't want it. They just don't want it.
Yeah, and that's part of the contract, actually.
Mm-hmm. And if you like pull it apart, you look at it, it's like, yeah, yes, it's hard work. It's scary work. Doable work. So you can honor yourself for you making the choice and doing the work. Because you're the only one that knows what it's done for you. No one will ever understand until they do their own work. And then you got something amazing to talk about. So, what words do people have for the day? All of that wrapped up. What did we take away from, learn from, shape our day with?
So having said all that, I really want to explore power this morning.
Great. So what's behind for you? What does it have with it when you say it? And those that listened it, what did it have when you listened it? Meaning, how did you respond to it in that moment that Craig said those words?
For me, it meant an umbrella. Encompassing your own your own genius.
For me, it felt like openness,
Mm,
exploring the power to be open.
It still triggers me to be strong.
Mm.
Definitely.
mhm.
As a force,
Mm.
just still there. Yeah, a dominating, still in the background. Pattern's still there. It's still my automatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I remind myself that yes, I have a choice for peaceful power. Because I already know I'll do the forceful power, any situation that's needed. I already know I can do that.
Yeah, you got this, man. Peaceful power.
Mhm.
I like that. Inner peace.
Yeah, I just got retain power, retain my own power. Instead of retain power instead of allowing someone else to use it, to have it, or something else.
And we think they take it, but the only thing that can happen is we give it to them.
Right,
Or
exactly.
so it's the giving our power away.
Yeah. So when I allowed force to creep into the mix, that was giving my power away. And now, after sleeping on it, I recognize that that's what I actually did.
Yep.
Gave away some power.
When we give away choice, that happens.
Yep.
That's where it can show up.
Yep. Yep.
Or it's fixed, or it's permanent, or there's nothing, we can't move out of it, right? It's just that way. And like power, I think of like when for people it's authority, but we can also have authority to roles.
Yeah.
To our perceptions, right? And
Yep.
there's always been a hierarchy. So that's where anytime there's a hierarchy, that's another place I look for that power, giving power away.
Yeah.
And the offshoot or the offset of that is, equal. Not that we have to be equal in all of it. I'm just looking for ways that, where can we start equally when I realize the hierarchy?
Yeah. Yeah. And where can I engage my inner authority situations? surrendering my power to the outer authorities. That is,
And sometimes I say, when am I taking theirs?
yeah, that happens too.
You know?
This whole conversation seems like a meditation on the, what is it? Is it the number 8 in the Enneagram?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, the one that's coercive and condescending. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
But there's a lot of subtleties to that too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just shared that when I introduced a salt source into the mix. I mean, that's Enneagram 8. But I'm blessed that even though it was subtle, that I recognized it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's huge blessing in that recognition because, yeah. I mentioned a number of times in the last few weeks in this room that I've noticed that my sensitivities to subtle energy or
Greg, it's hard to hear you, Greg.
Yeah, I mentioned in the last few weeks that that my sensitivity to subtle energies has been getting more tuned in, and yeah, this is a really good example. Just that slight bit of force, I felt it. I sensed it.
So in this room, what is the thing that we can pay attention to for equal? So that we can pull it back to, oh, roles. Oh, roles. Yeah. And it's coachless, clientless. You know? Let me try on speaking and listening role. And there's something very fascinating when we look at it from that point of view. It's easy to see speaking, right? That time and that speaking's there. And it's easy to see that one. What's the hard one is the listeners, that listening that don't step into speaking. That's the tough one. That's where it throws equal off. To an observer. And so it's in a way, it's like, oh, there's this urge to say something. There's space, an urge to say something, but nothing said. Oh, fine line. Yes. Oh, great balance, right? When we're working like, however, whether 6 people to be balanced, to be equal, to have space to speak and listen equally. Oh, there's that uncomfortable silence again. Just patterns, Jesus, just patterns, just responses, just conditions. For example, let's use this one. I had this one again this morning. It was wonderful. And it's such an impact that when it shows up, I just honor the lesson. So how did you put your socks on this morning? Are you a sock person or are you a sock shoe person? No other way. So those two. I mean, I guess you'd go without socks, but you put socks on.
Wow, I never even considered sock and a shoe, and then a sock and a shoe. I didn't even know
No,
anyone
no.
could do that.
So try it some morning and just feel how funky it is. Like do your other one, right? Do your other one. Yeah. Just try it. Like if you like you get a big reward if you come here tomorrow and say, oh, I remembered, number one, I remembered to do it. Number two, I tried it differently. You could speak for it a week and people still wouldn't remember it. See the attention. It's like, how many of those things are in our life?
I have to jump off the call. I have to have a call at 9. Another call at 9.
Well, I'm so glad you're here, man. Thank you, Neil. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being present. Neil.
Yeah, great to
Appreciate you.
interact with you. And do it again soon.
Next time. That's all there is next time.
Yeah.
All right.
It's great
Bye for-
seeing you, Neil.
All right. Same to you, Mom. All right. Bye for now.
Bye, Neil. Getting to the top of the hour where we start day 5 of infinite consciousness. Infinite power, infinite creativity. All that there is, was, and will be. So what if we do that for 30 days? What would it be like? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're only on day 5. And so here's the kicker. So like that one comes easy for me. I don't know. Right? I don't know what it'll turn out like. And then the next one is then when and I don't care. when we hear someone say that, what does that trigger? What does it trigger for you? I'm making up all sorts of stories as I hear dings dropping off. And it's just us again, guys. Yay. Not that yay, it's just ran
Yeah,
everybody off.
three crazy men.
Ran everybody off. Yeah, tends to happen.
Yeah, I got thrown off a little bit this morning because I get to work and I get my truck, you know, had my little routine, reach out my bag, and then I'm like, shoot, I don't have my earphones. So like, what I'm gonna do? You know, it's like life or death almost, right? So happened that I'm not working too far from my house today. So it's like, you know what? I'll just leave my spot earlier and I'll go home and get my earphones. That works. But yeah, for an instant, I was just like, oh my God, like my day is almost ruined, you know, what I'm gonna do, right?
Mm.
Well, I have one other ones in my bag, but it's just one side, and this truck is fairly loud, so you know, I try to pay attention of what you guys were talking about, but I missed so much of it. So, but yeah, I'm back now, guys.
Mm. So why were you compelled to share that?
Because it was inside of me, and then you know, I share it all with you guys. I'm not
Mhm.
not hiding anything.
Mhm. Mm.
And just to maybe have an example of
Mhm.
the wobble that I had this morning, and then like
Mhm.
how I resolve it,
Mhm.
right? Harnessing my peaceful power,
Mhm. Yeah,
my will.
rather than letting it ruin your day, it was like, oh, this is what I could do. I could do this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Anything like so? Let's see. That was too wise, Steve.
That was what?
Too wise. Too wise. Why?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, do you see? I mean, you've introduced this practice to me. I'm just practicing with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No,
Preparing for Tuesday. We're just getting prepared.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And the other thing I would share is about when Craig says like, I'd like to explore power, and my old me was really triggered by that. So I never found myself ever powerful.
Mhm.
I always like have people around me very powerful, and I always like they were my crutches, you know. And about 3 to 4 years ago, I lost my crutches, and it was tough on me, but it kind of I had to look inward, right? Harnessing my inner power, and really like it was a challenge, but it was really it was an inner reflection regarding that I am powerful too. I just didn't know. So it was a remembering of being in my power. So when I looked at it first, I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, so every time I have like a little issue, call my buddy, call my dad, you know, and everything is good. But when I don't have my crutches, you know, like the first few times, like it was tough on me. It was really tough on me. But then, like, after I've done it on my own, maybe like a repair on my house or something like that, you're like, I can do that too.
Mhm.
So, yeah, things don't just happen for fun, right? Like there's always a meaning behind it. I remember every time I tell one of my friends that he was my crutches, I always say like, oh, everything is meant to be. Oh, did it ever trigger him? Because I think like he doesn't think like life happened for him. He thinks like life happened to him. And that's a big distinction.
Mhm. Infinite consciousness. Yeah. Infinite consciousness.
Be awake and aware.
Mhm. Attention to. Attending to life. Yeah. Attending.
Hmm. Yeah, if it gets too loud, feel free to put me on mute. Hey, I learned the meaning of a word the other day that was a word that triggered me before. And I'd like to know what is your meaning of this word. And the word is occult. What's occult means to you?
So a cult. A cult. Like a gathering of people. Cult.
Occult, like EOCCULT. Occult.
Occult. I don't even know it. So it does. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So it's neutral. It does nothing for me.
Okay, cool.
Which is what happens when we don't have a meaning attached to it. Like, I'm not familiar with that. I've never heard it used, or maybe I have. I just never paid attention to it.
Cool. What about you, Craig? Are you also neutral, or are you triggered by this word, or?
He may be somewhere else doing something.
So anyway, so occult
use it in a use it in a sentence. That way, then I can make
Yeah.
up my own meaning from others.
Oh,
Sorry, guys. I didn't know I was muted.
No, no worries.
Yeah. Occult is neutral. Well, no, it's not neutral anymore now either. But when I was growing up, it was heavily charged. And what it meant then was some kind of a demonic practice.
Yeah.
And what I would say, how I define it now, it's what we're doing in these meetings every morning. This is what I would call an occult practice today. Is what we're doing is we're actually interacting with each other in the higher dimensions, within the higher dimensions.
Mm.
You know, within what's called the supernatural. Okay, within the unfamiliar.
Okay, that's a little bit of different definition that I have now, but it's getting similar. So occult for me before it means like the elite, demonic, same thing as you said, like Craig, right?
Yep.
Like the higher power, you would say, right? Like the people that control that everything, right? Those are the occult. But occult actually means, it comes from the word ocular. It means able to see. So they actually want you to think that it's the elite, like the higher power, people that, you know, that you can't do anything against them and stuff. But it's actually like, it almost doesn't mean like consciousness, but in the same time, like the more you're awake and aware, then you're kind of in a cult. So Kevin Trudeau was talking about that, right? Because he was part of the, I think, the Big Brother or something. So, but it's not to be fear of, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up in my 1980 dictionary.
Oh.
And it yeah, exactly. I kept this, actually bought this when I was in college, and I'm really glad I kept it because a lot of words mean very different things now. But
Yeah,
this is the 1980 meaning. It says, of or pertaining to the various magical arts and practices. So magical arts and practices. And then it says, the second meaning is beyond human understanding. Semicolon, mysterious.
Right.
And the third meaning is not divulged or disclosed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something secret. Something secret.
Yeah, I'd be surprised what they say now in the new dictionary, right? Like,
Yeah. And it's from the Latin oculus. Which means to cover over or to hide. So it's the hidden. It's what's been covered over. So it's kind of like
hidden knowledge. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like Adam and Eve were naked. They realized they were naked. So they made clothes for themselves, or they covered themselves up.
Mm. Yeah.
So and it's the nakedness that was hidden, right? You cover up your nakedness. And so that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said that's what we do every day in this group, is we get naked and we uncover ourselves, and we we allow ourselves to be seen.
Mm. Right.
Which is the Oculus, right?
Yeah. Just a fun little game, like to expand our consciousness this morning, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting
The-
thing too is I'm starting to get comfortable with having my innards exposed,
Mm.
you know? That's been very empowering for me. Because even though a lot of the shadow stuff and the dark stuff has been exposed, there's also the power has been exposed
Yeah.
at the same time. You know, and we have a safe environment with which, you know, in which to do that. In which to expose our true nature.
Yeah, there's always one person that does it first, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh, where there's an insight there. Oh my goodness.
Well, hi, Nikki. Missed you.
Unbelievable.
Can you hear me?
The
Can you
prodigal
hear
has
me?
returned.
Yeah.
Listen, Craig, I was just thinking of you. I was just thinking of you. I had to get quickly online just to say hi and to say to you that when I was in Paris, I wanted to share with you because it was so profound. I was sitting right there where all the writers on the north side of Paris,
Yes.
where all the writers and poets and everybody that used to come and write. And you were so in my mind's eye, and I'd said, oh, I've got to share this with Craig. He would just love it. And then I thought, should I just text you it? But then I thought, now I'll say it personally to you, and then I'm going to text it to you.
Okay. Bless you.
You follow? Yeah, I'm telling you. Because, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah. I have had you both in mind because for whatever reason, that's what came up. I mean, other people did come up in the group, of course. But this was because the last time when we had our session together was like how it's going to be and how it's, you know. So I'm just really excited to, just to say that my
It's interesting.
intentions were fulfilled.
That's it. Yeah, that's interesting. As you're sharing that, I'm sitting there, and here's what I got. My soul has been there. My soul has been there
Oh my
at one
God.
time or another.
Oh my,
I'm not sure when, but my soul has been there. Yeah.
wow.
This is interesting too, and I've gotten this over the last few months. I know I'm going to be traveling the world extensively, and what's interesting about what's coming to me all around that is that I'm going to remember that I've been in all these places before.
Yeah.
You know, as I go from place to place, I'll go, yeah, I've been here. This is familiar. So it's going to be very interesting.
But you know what's even more interesting? It's the intentions that what you had as your choice, that you wanted to express the desires of your heart. And knowing that is so beautiful because you don't know how it's going to come and unfold. But with that intentional and now bringing this into this awareness that I'm so happy for. I'm so happy for, you know, for that.
Yeah.
And to be able to also know that when you can witness others, whatever they're expressing in their authenticness, because that's what we're all about, is authenticness. It's not about pretending. It's not about, we're making it up as we go along. But this is what's really exciting, that we can, as a collective, we're going together forwards with this,
Yeah.
because I've traveled now the most exquisite trip ever. When I say ever, I mean, listen, I've done some magic in my life, but this topped it, because my intentional, before I left, I'd said that it's going to be connections. I'm going to interact. I'm going to just have so many beautiful moments with people, randomly. I'm talking randomly. They came to me. And I'm not just speaking on over in the sense of, oh, really now? Listen to her. No, I really can't hold that back anymore. I'm going to have to say for what it is, because this is possible for everybody. It's possible for everybody if they're choosing it. If they're choosing it, right? So
you realize you realize, right?
Yeah.
That you just had this trip that you just did over the last few weeks, right?
Yeah.
But the person you are that experienced this trip the last few weeks, if you would have gone on that trip 6 months ago, it would have been a totally different experience.
Totally different.
Same spaces, same things, because your attention is different.
My attention is different.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm going on the plane in 3 hours time. I'm going on the plane in 3 hours time, and I'm please God arrive home safely in New York. But I wanted, before I got onto the plane, I wanted to make this time just to say wow to both of you. Like, wow. That's all I got to say. I said it wow before, with our conversations, our connections, our discovery, I just bringing out genius, bringing out gifts, bringing out greatness, bringing out just the best. And with all the mess, because I realize it's okay to be a mess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And it's okay to be a mess. It really is. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
But what I am,
it's fun being a hot
grateful.
mess together, isn't it?
Oh my God, isn't it? So hot.
Hey, and I just want to mention this to you. I don't know if you noticed this, but when I found out you were going to Europe, I made a choice to energetically pack myself in your suitcase. So,
my dear,
I'm sure my presence has shown up a number of times.
You have no. This is why I'm here on the call. I honestly, I have to end it like this, because if I don't, it's not going to be complete for me. Because I don't know what it just came up. It just comes up. It came up with Jesse and Craig. So what came up, I did once take in my impulse, and I said, no, I'm going to just do what I'm going to do with a text message or a picture or something. I just did it because I thought, why not? Because I also knew I'm at a place where I got to know that celebration is part of my life now. And I know that not everyone's going to celebrate that with me, and that's going to be okay. But I do know the people that are. And to me, that is very, very exciting, because now I know I'm really on an adventure, because I know that when I'm really now being in my heart, this is really important for me. And to be able to now just speak for what's coming up, it's just like every moment, like right now, every second, I'm not like, I don't know what's going to come up. It's just going to come up. And that's what I experienced in this whole trip. I mean, if I tell you the things that have happened, you're going to go, really? Like, seriously, Nikki, I'm going to say,
you did a lot of listening. You did a lot of listening.
I did a lot of listening. And it was so crazy.
It's your superpower, dear.
And when I came on this session months ago, I couldn't stop talking. And I had to literally go from 10 to almost 0, like in a matter of in time to know. And that's what I love about where we are. It's just where we need to be. Because even if things do go messy, and uncomfortable, because that's the tension that we're holding, that we can just embrace that and then say it's okay, because if you hold on just a little longer, you'll see it come out. And even if the mess or mistake, it's actually the next thing that actually brings you to where you need to be. You follow? So why I love this, I actually really did think in spirit in this trip, because it was actually out. When I say literally outside experience, I actually observed this. I thought, what is this happening right now? It's
A
like
little out of body, did you?
yeah, it was an out of body. Yeah, it was. It really was. I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And what I also know is I can be in my kitchen in New York, yeah, as happy as I am wherever I am in the world.
Yep.
And to me, that's satisfaction and contentment. And to me, that makes me like I had this, you know what I mean? The same food kind of thing or whatever. Apple's an apple, right?
Yeah.
No matter where you eat it in the world. So I'm so glad I came on here because
Yeah, we are too.
Yeah. I wanted to really just like I had a lot of reflection and a lot of like I'm really coming back completely, like knowing that even as uncomfortable as it is, it's very uncomfortable still. But I know that I'm going to be in places where I can express it. But I also know it's okay if I don't express it, because it's not to, it's just to be there. It's just here. Yeah. It's not, it's just to allow. That's it.
Yeah. Be present with whatever shows up.
Yeah. And it's nothing else than that. And wow, how grateful I am to hear your voices. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And
Awesome.
and I did keep it. I did keep it for this moment. It wasn't intentional. But because of my session, because of the time zone, change it,
Yeah.
And then I said, no, but energetically, I know that I'm there, and it's like we can follow through. And and now I get to be here, and it's like the perfect place where I am, because I'm in a garden with only trees. Like literally, I can show you, but it's absolutely beautiful. When I show you, it's like it's where I want. Yeah, it's perfect. And I'm sitting actually also in shade, so there's a slight breeze because it's very hot here. I'm in Germany at the moment, really, really hot. But man, yeah. That's
Hey,
it.
who traveled with you?
It.
Is Charles with you?
Yeah. Yes.
Just you and Charles, or?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been amazing. Yeah.
So let me,
Nice.
I want to share how much you have grown.
Yeah, that's
No kidding. That's pretty obvious.
I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you. The mirror that I've always, mirrored back to me, with so much love, with so much dignity, with so much sensitivity, with so much compassion, with so much just grace. I mean, yeah. And I'm so grateful because that's the connection that I felt in my heart, that I felt that's how I'm going to grow through people. I'm not going to grow through any other experiences than go through it like with others. And to me, I now understand, because the connections, it's just like when you're really in that zone where you can just be grateful, this is where a lot of things can just comes.
Yeah.
And I have been grateful for every session and every encounter, uncomfortable or not uncomfortable, because that's life. And I practice the tension, I practice the reflection, and I practice showing up.
Yes, you do.
Like I'm showing up now. Yeah, and I'm showing up now, because that's I think that's the work.
It is.
So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Big love. Full love, heart love, heart open. It's just
Oh,
honor
yeah.
honor your journey. Honor our journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's very exciting.
It is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for being present today, Nikki.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot, but I'm holding the lid for a little bit longer because this is where I just want to, this is what where I should be right now, you know, where I should be right now. And that's what's important.
Yeah. So today is day 5 of us in this last hour from 6 o'clock on my time, 9 o'clock your time. Is aimed. Joe brought in that what if for 30 days we work infinite consciousness, all that is, was, and will be. And it's like, oh, great. So that is, we are day 5 of that today. And it just as you spoke, it was a demonstration of what's possible.
Oh, absolutely.
In your power, in your consciousness, in the infinite, all that is, which is really just gratitude, right? Grateful, joy. It's expansion, whatever has expansion in it.
That's the word, expansion. That's what you've been not just practicing, that's what you've been verbalizing all the time. Expansion, more of it. And that's the thing, when we have that gratitude, it expands. The joy expands, just like negative can also expand. So
Yes, it
it's
does.
the choices of where we choosing to, where we want to expand. And that's it.
And we wobble between the two of them. We weave
do,
in and out of between the two of them. And it's the aim is to be more in the expansive, because we've spent so much of our life in the limited, in the destructive side.
That's it. Yeah. Or the program.
Yes, thank you. Program. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really remarkable. It's quite something. But I think the receiving part is now to just say, as we have always said, so what is coming up for us now? You know, what is needed, you know? What is the truth of this? Or just like, what would you want me to know now? And I think, you know, it's all my life I had this knowing of speaking, but also thought that I was crazy, because I did speak to myself but I was speaking to spirit, you see? Because when you speak into yourself, you're actually speaking to you, the higher self. Yeah, you're tapping into you. You are the universe. So I realized that, oh my God, so from this imagination that I had, it was so funny, because I realized that now these are the questions, because a good coach, when I say coach or guide or anyone, it's good questions, right? And we've only asked for questions here. What is the question? Not the answer, the question. You know, what would you like? For example, what would you like? Does it, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Of course it does. It's rather than always looking for an answer, or always having to have an answer.
Right?
We're sitting in the curiosity of the question, looking, waiting for the answer to reveal itself. Why? How else would you want life to work?
Exactly.
Rather than trying to force it, like to force it to show up a certain way, force it and put all this energy because we expect it to go this way.
Yeah.
So good. Good morning, Joe.
Greetings, greetings.
That's interesting. I want to interrupt here. Welcome, Joe, but I just want to interrupt here because Jesse just Jesse just summed up that experience that I had shared earlier, like right at the beginning of this session. It's about, it's about forcing it. Am I gonna allow this situation, this experience to unfold as it is, or am I going to try to force it into some expectation that I have?
So, Joe, what's in infinite consciousness this morning? Day 5.
Infinity. Well, people are shifting, people are shining. I've listened to a voice note of this lady today who's been listening to a beat and could feel like next level things going on in her brain. Like literally could feel like things going on in her brain. And she's just like blown away. I was a bit worried at first because she said she was like getting dizzy and stuff. But like she sounds overall pretty happy with it. So but here we go, man, and it's getting clearer now, like as well what these beats are doing in the sense of they're taking the highest frequency and the lowest. But I didn't understand that lowest one because people were saying that like they're listening to it and feeling like crying and stuff. And I didn't get that until I started asking questions. And what's happening is we've got the highest frequencies when we think of what makes us happy, but the lowest frequencies when we're feeling sad and angry. These are like undealt with emotions, like threading, like say you're knitting and it's all threaded, all knotted up. And when it's vibrating that lowest frequency, people are crying and tears are coming up because it's such undealt with, untouched emotion that is literally like consciously hard to shift. But these frequencies and this music is doing it, giving the perfect experience to whoever's listening to it. And bringing these shifts and releasing, like old stagnant non-serving energy. And that's a step, that's a shift. Like an individual shift is a shift for the collective, and getting closer to our infinite nature is a shift for one is a shift for all. So I just got up, been up all night, sending out beats. I've opened it up now, so like when I deliver the beats, I'm giving people an option to I'm accepting donations, and like really nicely, like I made about 10 beats last night, and 4 or 5 people donated in the night. So like that's incredibly ridiculously helpful right now, because I don't like to go on about being skint because obviously it's like it's going to attract more of it. But obviously I'm shifting my abundant mindset, my mindset in regards to all that. And I was on a call yesterday. Oh my days, Alan's been blowing my head off. Oh my days. But yeah, one of the points was, in this world, right? When we grow up in this like making money, you gotta go make money. I've got a good idea. I'm gonna make money, right? But what he's saying is that making money for the subconscious mind is actually an impossible task. Yeah. So what he was saying was, none of us have ever made any money. Okay. What we've done is we've received money. Ask and we receive. But I was saying to Alan, has this been purposely done? Yeah, by the powers that be? Because the way he's making it out is, if that's the mentality, it's a dead end trap. And I said, do you reckon this has been purposely put into society? You know, make money, make money, knowing that it's never actually going to go anywhere. It's a dead end trap. So yeah, but the thing is, right, we don't say I'm making money. Yeah, I'm receiving. Yeah, I'm receiving. That's and then that feels like a whole lot different, because basically when you say I need to make this, I need to make that, it's like a dead end, impossible task. But then if you say I am open to receiving that, whew, anyway. Yeah. So feeling blessed, feeling grateful, fortunate, really appreciative, connecting with beautiful people, and the Lovolution army is assembling. It's assembling, and I'm feeling really, really blessed. I don't know what's going on with my sleeping patterns, but I'm feeling good. And I'm blessed to be here. And yes, it's so good to hear Nikki in the house as well. Nikki, where did you go, man? We thought we'd lost you in the land of love. Yeah. So great to have you back, Nickington. Mwah.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
And yeah, man, like, wow. Did you have a good holiday?
It was fantastic. Just fantastic.
You were gone for a while, weren't you?
3 weeks.
Wow.
I'm glad I was missed.
Oh yeah. Missed you, man. Missed you.
Yeah.
You're back with us now.
Dancing on the balcony. Yeah. Woohoo.
Woo!
She's I think she's just getting ready to get on her flight back to the US from Germany today.
Yeah.
No way, you're still actually there. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Well, why do it in halves, Ed? You know what I mean? If you're gonna go away and do it properly, I say.
That's what I say. And that's what I did. Yeah.
Oh man. Feeling good though, feeling good, feeling blessed. Do you know, I was at the gym yesterday, steam room, loving it. And I go on this vibrating power plate thing, which just like vibrates the smithereens out of you. I'll just do my breathing on there, relaxing, feeling really, really good. And then, Nikki, I went to see Limp Bizkit, yeah? Remember Limp Bizkit? Now I know you'll be loving this shit right here, yeah? Went to see them. They came to my hometown, right? Oh, my days. There's a video on my Facebook, the whole crowd. It was a massive mosh pit. I've never been in a mosh pit before. It was amazing, yeah? I'm telling you. Right? But the thing is, I remember sitting on the power play yesterday at the gym, and that thought came to me of that atmosphere and that feeling in that gig. And my whole body just started tingling, you know, like in a good way. And like, yeah, that was just from me taking my mind to that experience. And then I was hit with those waves of ecstasy, you know. Oh my days. Yeah, baby, we're on fire. Woo! We blessed though, we blessed. Oh yeah, feeling the energy, man. The energy's strong. It's building
Yeah.
up. It's building up, and it's just the shifts are just.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a live stream that went down well, and I literally titled it